Welcome to the Resilient Mindset Podcast, an exciting new podcast by Resilience Queen, Justine Martin. Justine is the owner and founder of the Resilient Mindset, a division of the Justine Martin Corporation. Justine draws on her years of experience and knowledge consulting with clients to develop and sustain a positive mindset. Focused on igniting your passion, purpose and power, follow the Resilience Queen each week as she delves into the mind of her guests, exploring fascinating stories and inspiring journeys.
Lavina Quilliam is a shapeshifter. Lavina desires to help people shift their reality, bridging the gap between realistic and tangible life changes, women who are ready for deep integration. Lavinia's life journey, where she has gone through numerous situations, has allowed her a unique way of seeing what is realistic and what is not. Welcome back, listeners. Today I've got with me Lavinia. How are you?
I'm really well. And how are you?
I'm great. Well, a bit of a cough, so we'll see how we go today. We've just been talking about that. It's not COVID, so I'm good. What does resilience mean to you?
Resilience means to me, when I first heard it when I was in year 7 or 8 and I was studying geography, it really captivated me. That's when I first learnt it, being able to bounce back to change. And I said it to everywhere I went, to every family member. I kept on saying it for years and years and years, didn't realising looking back that that was a word that would always save me in my life up until this point.
Yeah. And it's become the buzzword nowadays, hasn't it?
It has, but in them days, like no one even really knew what it was. But yeah, it is the buzz.
Yeah, it is. And I think COVID brought that about as well. I mean, I obviously knew about resilience because I'm known as the Queen of Resilience, and someone mentioned that to me in about 2018, I think, so way before COVID. But the general population, I think, now realises what COVID actually did to us and building that resilience with all of us. Okay, so what's an adversity that you faced and how did you draw on your own resilience to cope with it?
Through battling with Graves' disease at 24 and having panic attacks every day, like it was definitely a big challenge because people go, it's in your head, just get over it. But it was like, okay, I'm going through this. I need to look after my body. How can I take good care of my body? How can I, give it what it needs, stress reduction, and just know that this is temporary, even though it feels like it's going to be forever, and just to continue going knowing that it will change.
Yeah. And that's the thing with invisible diseases, isn't it? I mean, we know what's going on in our body, but to the outside world, people have got no idea. And I often refer to that as a disability in itself. Having to defend that you're sick to the wider population. When you can't see a runny nose, when you can't see a broken limb, when you can't see someone struggling to walk, that becomes its own problem, its own issue. And then you start questioning yourself, is there really something wrong? Because everyone else doesn't think that there's something wrong. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I'm going crazy and feel alone.
Yeah, and that then affects, your mental capacity and that as well. So what techniques did you use? Well, how did you draw on your own resilience? How do you get through it when someone says to you, go and sleep some more, or, you should try this remedy, or you should try that remedy? How do you cope with it all? What do you do? What are your secrets?
For me, was literally hugging myself and giving myself a pat on the back and go, it's going to be okay. Placing my hand on my heart. Like I do this in public all the time and people look at me weird, but just breathing and just connecting to my heart and going, I'm here with you. I'm here. It's going to be okay. I'm okay. And just doing that on repeat.
Yeah. A bit of self-love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Self-love and self-care. And they're two of the main things that we should do anyway, regardless whether we have an illness or not. We're also hard and critical on ourselves nowadays that, we put everyone else's needs first and we forget about our own needs and our own self-love. And that's not about being all hippified or or new age or anything like that. It's if you don't take care of you first, it's like the old oxygen mask theory. Have you heard of that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
true.
So if you don't put your own oxygen on first when the plane's crashing, you can't help anyone else. And if you're not taking care of your own self needs, then you can't help anyone else. Or you can, but you feel very bitter and resentful. And that's what happens with a lot of mums is, everyone's take, and they forget about their own needs. So who are your biggest role models in resilience?
I would say Delta Goodrum. I love and adore her. I've loved her ever since she started and when she got diagnosed with cancer, and now she's battling no voice, so she had to postpone her UK trips. Like I just resonate with her, like her lyrics and her strength and her elegance and her ability to bounce back from her challenges.
Yeah, she's a good role model to have, and can sing okay too.
Yeah, she can.
Yeah. Is there someone in life who inspires you?
I would say, other than her, my mentor, like she inspires me a lot. She's from the UK and she has a very good sense of humor. She keeps it real. She says it as it is. Sometimes a little bit of a salty way, but a good way, like, very truthful, someone I can rely on.
And that's what you want as a mentor. You want someone to be truthful. You don't want all the fluffy stuff. So this is your business mentor?
Yeah.
I've got a couple of those. They're very important when you're working for yourself and you want to keep moving and going in the right direction. It's important to have mentors in life, and it's also important to realize that you can outgrow them and outgrow their field of expertise, and then be continually looking for the next step up in getting that advice and that mentorship and that support as well. So what are your passions in life?
I love traveling. I love adventure. I love trying something new, meeting different people, getting out of my comfort zone, even though it's scary. But yeah, just ping-ponging energy, just trying something new. I can't stay at one place for too long.
What's your favourite place?
Oh,
so far, because I'm sure there'll be more in the future.
Oh, that's a tough one. Other than Australia, because I definitely love here, I would say Japan, because it's very, very colourful and I love the colour and the vibe sort of thing. Yeah.
Nice. I haven't been to Japan. I'm back to Bali again and Ireland this year, so I've got 2 trips planned. Lots of national travel. I travel all the way around the country with work, but I'm going to Bali for a writing retreat and then Ireland for another writing retreat. So look out, there's some new books on the horizon in Juzzy's world.
Amazing.
But yeah, travel. I love travel, exploring new cultures, new people. Just even in Australia, to go around and all the different states and see. We're one country, but we're all still very, very different from state to state. And I've lived in 3 states of Australia, and I can tell you, growing up as a child, it was confusing because even we pronounce words differently in Australia from state to state. Did you know that, Lavinia?
I have noticed that. Yeah. And even the accent's different, everything's different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You can have more Aussie twang in the outback than what you do in the city, so to speak. If people are listening from around the world, which you will be, it'd be like, I thought all Australians spoke the same. No, we don't. So how do you deal with setbacks in your life?
At first, I cry, I feel my emotions, I feel the disappointments and all the things. I feel, going through that, and then go, okay, what's next? Like, what is the blessing from this? What is the value? What can I do to tweak and change? And how can I really see this as an opportunity to expand and grow?
Yeah, I like to do an emotion dump. Because people say to me all the time, oh, you're so positive. And I'm like, yeah, but not all the time. When I get bad news, I hit bottom. I go down the bottom. I cry. I get angry. And I write a lot of emotions out. Do you keep a journal?
Yes. Yeah, I keep audio and I written journal as well. I like both.
Yeah. And I find that that's very cathartic to write it down, because then you don't have to carry it all in your head. That's how I tend to do it. But yeah, in an emotional dump out, and then it's like, stop. Okay, you've done that. Now let's look at how bad it is, and let's look at how we can dig ourselves out of this one. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And to take the time as long as we need as well, depending on the use too.
That's exactly right. And people think, oh, she's the queen of resilience, she's going to bounce back straight away. Well, no, it doesn't happen that way. Resilience doesn't work that way. Resilience means that you are working in the right direction, that you are getting back. You may need to, we don't give up, but we modify ourselves and our goals and that to get back to where we were. And sometimes it takes a very, very long time to get back to that level. But the point of the thing is that you have got back to that level or close to it. Sometimes some of us never get back to what that A point was, but we can work bloody hard in trying to achieve it. How do you cope with pressure?
With pressure, that's a good question. I cope quite well. I used to, in the old way, like push myself and force myself through pressure. Now I've learnt to feel the pressure, breathe in and out, and understand it and go, well, how can I reduce this? How can I delegate this? How can I deal with just one thing and not force myself and push myself through it?
Yeah. Totally get that. And to also not get into the point where you're under pressure all the time, because that's not good for your body. Recognizing, well, this activity is going to cause me some pressure. Okay, what can I do to counterbalance it? And that's when that self-care comes back in again. It's like, okay, well, let's pull some self-care in. All right, I don't like doing this activity. I can recognize that I'm under stress. I can recognize that I'm under pressure. What can I do in order to help my body, myself, my mind? And that might mean taking, 10, 15 minutes out, going into a quiet room and just turning off all electronics and just sit in that moment and de-stress your body and collect your thoughts. And then it's easier to handle that pressure that you're under. And asking for help is a big one as well. Do you ask for help?
I have to learn this, and definitely it hasn't come easy to me. But I'm asking for help more now than I ever had before. But yeah, it's been a very big struggle. I just feel like just can't ask for help, or what would people think, or they don't have enough energy themselves. So it's like just asking for what we need is important.
So to me, asking for help, because I have MS, so there's a lot of things that I physically can't do anymore. And it was hard asking for help, because it's like my pride got in the way and I was angry with everyone. People were saying, oh, how can I help? How can I help? It's like, no, it's fine. I'll do it myself, to my own detriment. And nowadays, I see asking for help as a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. And when you switch that in your brain, it's like, in order for me to achieve my goals, I'm going to have to ask for help. No one can do everything by themselves. That's ridiculous to think that you can. And so it's like, okay, well, I'm going to get help. I'm going to delegate some tasks off there. I'm going to ask for help there. And then my life becomes a lot more smoother. Would you agree?
I love that. I love that mindset to have that. Yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good shift.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a big shift. Don't see asking for help as a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength, because it does take a strong person to ask for help.
Absolutely. And to be vulnerable as well. So, yeah.
Exactly. And no one's going to think any less of you at all.
Mm-hmm.
Only yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to put yourself back in the line on that one. So tell me about a time when you had to deal with a major crisis.
Oh, a major crisis. Recently, when my best friend's family member passed away from stage 4 lung cancer and bladder cancer, and because his family want nothing to do with him, I took him under my wing, and he came into our house and literally saw him die, which was very challenging, and very sad. But again, a lot of people thought I pulled myself up quite quickly, only because I was always in preparation of what was to come and really soothing myself through the process.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. How did you soothe yourself through that process? What did you do?
Again, just hugging myself and saying it's going to be okay. This is a natural part of life. I'm here. I'm giving love. I'm giving support. I'm doing everything that I can to the best of my ability. And this is just a natural part of life, no matter how sad it is.
Yeah, and how hard it is. I
Mhm.
found my partner dead on the floor last year, so it is hard with death. And our culture as well here in Australia, we don't talk about death enough. We don't deal with death enough. It's this taboo, forbidden subject unless it's actually right in front of your face and it's happening. Someone, a loved one or someone does get cancer or dies. That's the only time that we tend to talk about it. There's some cultures around the world that live with the dead body for so many days and care for them, and we don't do that here. And I think that's a big shame, and it makes it harder and longer in the grieving process as well. And when people are grieving, it's also a case of, oh, what do I say to that person? Oh, I can't say that, or I can't do that. What if I do the wrong thing? And therefore they avoid them. And when you need that support from other people and that, a lot of them aren't actually there because they're facing their own demons when it comes to death. So I'm sorry about the loss of your friend. That must have been extremely difficult and a difficult time. And I'm sure that you're still going through all of that as well, because it's not something with grief. Grief isn't something that you just turn off, and you don't make a decision that, okay, well, on the 1st of January, I'm not going to feel grieved anymore. It doesn't work that way, and it can come back years later as well. If you don't process it and deal with it straight at that time, or, work through it for however long it takes, and it's different for every single one of us, no two grief paths are the same, then it will take on, over a period of time, more and more in you. So counselling is a good step as well. I went and sought counselling because you shouldn't have to grieve by yourself. There are experts out there that can help you through the process and give you strategies on what to do. I mean, I was going through panic attacks afterwards from it. So, I now have strategies in place that when I feel that that's happening, I just take a step back and, again, self-love and lots of talking to myself and writing feelings and emotions down as well definitely helps. So if you're out there, listeners, and you are struggling with grief or whatever there is, go and seek some professional help. There are people that can help you. You can pick up the phone and call Lifeline as well. They're a really good place to start. I was contacted by Grief Line, which the police organised for me, and I had 5 sessions through those. But it did take a long time to get onto that service. It took 3 months after Jean had died before I got onto Grief Line. So I'd already gone and sought another counsellor out in the meantime to try and deal with that. So it is important to take care of yourself and be kind to yourself through that time. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And I'm so sorry to hear about your partner.
Thank you. Thank you. But I'm going to keep reminding myself that, he died in that room that day. I didn't. And that he would still want me to live a full and rewarding life. So that's always in the back of my head, and that's a driving force. It's like, okay, only one of us died, not 2 of us. And I know that's really harsh to say, but for me, that's my coping mechanism and my mind shift on it and to keep moving forward. But I still have some bad days, and they'll creep out of the blue on me, or something will set me off. I was sitting and watching a movie the other night of Maverick, and I think it's the 5th time I've seen it. And that was a movie that I saw with him a couple of times in the theatre, and that was enough to trigger it. So it's like, yeah, I'm not over it yet, and I probably never will be. either. He'll always still be a part of me, but it's still raw at times as well. And it's to go through those emotions. So you're probably doing the same as well, Lavinia, with your emotions. And to sit in that emotion. Too often we are conditioned that it's not okay to be sad, that you have to be happy all the time. Well, I'm telling you that sadness is an emotion that you can sit in for a period of time, just not forever. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to grieve. And society doesn't let us do that when we should. I mean, we have Are You OK Day, but that's different to just feeling sad. We're so caught up in identifying, oh, you're sad, oh, you've got depression. And I'm not undermining depression at all because I've been there. But I don't have depression at the moment. I'm just sad. There's a difference. And knowing that there's a difference is huge as well. So let's lighten it up a little bit more. What's your favourite movie that features a person's inner strength to get up?
I can't remember the exact name, but it was The Happiness, or I think it was called Happiness, with I can't remember his name, Will Smith.
Yeah, I know which one you mean. We might have to Google that one while we're talking. What resonates in that for you? I'm going to Google it while we're chatting away.
Just to show the other side of what happiness truly is, and to, looking back at the simple joys of life.
Yeah. Keep chatting. I'm Googling. Are there any other movies?
I haven't watched a movie in ages, so this is a good invitation to watch, a movie that has that inner strength. I'm not really a movie watcher back in the day. I was, but any recent ones? What can I think of? Because I like comedy. I'm more of a funny, anything that's lighthearted, funny.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I teach my coaching clients, and that is be careful what you fuel your mind. And if you're watching something and it's making you feel uncomfortable and you don't like it, turn it off. You don't have to watch to the end. I like watching movies that uplift me, that make me laugh, that are lighthearted, rather than ones that, scare the bejeebies out of me and, then offset me for a few days. I've watched some movies and they've really, really upset the whole inner balance in me and have scared. I think there was one called Dirty John, and it was about internet dating. And, I've met men online before, and I've met someone very similar to him. And, I could tell you some stories. And because of that, it was a triggering moment for me. And I'm like, I can't watch the end of this. I can't watch the end. And I sat there and I did watch to the end, and then it unsettled me for weeks. And I had to go back and have some counselling on it all because it was a triggering moment. And from that moment on, I'm like, right, Juzzy's new philosophy. I'm not going to watch crap like that. Why am I putting myself through that? I'm going to watch stuff that, is lighthearted, that makes me laugh, makes me smile. Documentaries that are informative, that are, good and pleasing to watch, because you've got to be careful of what you're putting in your mind. I'm still looking for that other movie for you, Lavinia.
Yeah, maybe it's a different title. I just assumed it was about happiness, but I've never watched a horror movie in my life for that reason. And people are always shocked to hear that, because I just know that would upset me and make me anxious. I was like, no, just never have tried to watch, and I never want to.
I don't like horror at all. I can remember watching a horror movie. The Friday the 13th movies were around when I was a teenager. So there you go. Now I'm showing my age. And my girlfriend and I, we got 1, 2, and 3. I think it was Friday the 13th, 1, 2, and 3. I'm pretty sure it was Friday the 13th. And we were staying out in the back room, which was a big sunroom with all these glass windows. And Yeah, we scared ourselves so much that we had to walk each other to the bathroom
Oh.
because we thought someone was going to jump through the window. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's it. No more. I can't find it. That's a bugger. If we find it later, we'll pop it in the bio, in your bio as well. But yeah, a happy movie is always good. It's something that makes you laugh as well. I love to laugh. I love going to comedy shows. Do you ever go to comedy shows?
Me too. I actually do. I like the ones in the city, just little ones. They're really funny. It's a good, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Laughing is great. If we could laugh every day, that would be a blessing.
Yeah, that's right. And, since we're talking about fueling your mind, you got to be careful what you watch and listen to on social media as well. I control what I see on my timeline. So if there's someone's, one of my friends' values aren't matching with my values, I don't unfriend them. I just unfollow them and they'll never know. And I've got 2,500 friends on Facebook, so I'm only seeing a smidgen anyway. But if someone's on there and I'm not liking what they're putting up and it's not sitting well, then it's time to unfollow, and bring something else up on there that is more aligned with my values. With that, and it's not hard to do. So, what's a quote that you live by?
Love never fails.
Oh, I like that one. And big smile on your face when you say that one too, for those that are listening and not watching the vlog. That's a nice one. Have you got any more? Are there any more quotes that you live by?
I can do this. That's always my most favorite one. I can do this, and love will always win. So it's definitely like a love theme.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas mine is, what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same
Doing
thing
the same thing
over
over
and
and
over.
over and expecting a different outcome. So how many people actually do that? And then my personal one that I've developed, that I've written, is time is the most precious commodity. You can't buy it, sell it, reuse it, or borrow it. So be careful on what you spend it on and who you spend it on.
Oh, I love that. That is so good. You should have it everywhere.
Oh, I do. You want to buy it in a sticker form? Because we have it in stickers.
Oh, that's cool. What about a cup?
Oh, yes. We've got cups as well. And we have other ones and power, passion, purpose. That's another one of mine. You're going to have power, passion, purpose in life. Because if you don't know what your purpose is, well, then, why are you getting out of bed every morning?
Yep.
Yeah. What's your purpose in life, Lavinia? Do you know?
Yeah, I love helping people any way, shape or form, just connecting with people, having deep conversations, just uplifting them and just being of service of any kind. That's really helpful.
Yeah. Mine is to give people hope.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's so
to give people hope through my story, and to give, just to help people and give people hope that, things will get better. You may not see it at the moment, but things will definitely get better. And it was quite funny when I was working out because I lost my purpose in life back in 2011 when I was diagnosed with MS. When I couldn't work anymore and told that I was never going to work anymore, it's like, well, what's my purpose going to be? And then I started to learn how to paint, and one thing led to another, and then people started buying my artwork, and I went, oh, well, there's my purpose. My purpose is to make other people happy by them looking at my art and they smile, whether they purchase the art or not, but just for them to stand there and someone put a smile on their face. That was my purpose. And then that's kind of grown. It's still one of the contributing factors, but now it's definitely through my story gives other people hope. And I didn't realise that hope was all around me. Sometimes things are right in front of you and you don't realise that they're there, and there's these little signs everywhere. My daughter, and I'm going to show you, you'll be able to see, and listeners, you can pop on over to the vlog on Justine Martin Corporation YouTube channel. I'll get that out in a minute to see this. My daughter, about 8 years ago, gave me this little statue.
Oh.
Which is a little dragonfly. If you can't see it, it's a little rock, and it's got a dragonfly etched into it with some pampas reeds, and it also at the top says hope. And that sits on my desk. And it didn't even occur to me when I was trying to work out what my, what my purpose was and that it was actually hope and with the dragonfly. And then in front of me all the time, I have a tattoo here. I don't know if you can see it, which is a dragonfly. And I'm like, oh my God, just hit me across the head with a brick next time because it's right in front of me there. And then recently I've been doing a book on hope. So Hope the elephant for River's Gift is their mascot, and I've just written and I'm illustrating at the moment a book about how hope finds hope. And I'm like, it's everywhere in front of me. So if you're not sure of what your purpose is, I'm sure it's sitting there right in front of you, and you just have to open your eyes and be open to it. Yeah. What's a job that you have loved the best and why?
Being a high school teacher, because I love the kids. I love the kids' energy. I love that they're passionate. They're just, big dreamers. It's just that, aliveness. Like I just love, like I understand them. They understand me. Like it's just been great.
And you need to be paid more. I'm just putting it out there. You need to be paid more. You're a certain kind of person if you can take a high school class, and I commend you for that because there's not too many out there that can. And if your students are anything like what I was at high school, God help you.
They're worse. They're worse now.
Oh, yeah.
Every year it gets worse.
We actually, the boys were so bad in my year at school that one of our teachers resigned.
Oh,
yeah. She was of age as well, but they weren't very nice. Okay, let's move along. What guides you to find purpose and direction?
That's a really good question. By just connecting to my heart and just going, okay, what is it do I need to know? Like, what is it that I need to hear and move into and step into?
Yeah, that's good. And listening again to all those. Yeah. If you could go back to your 18-year-old self, what's one piece of advice you would give yourself?
That I can do it and I will do it, and that don't be hard on myself, and just know that time will heal and show you the way, and that everything and anything is possible. Yeah.
Mine would be that there's always something around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I had a wise friend, she's a lot older than me, say to me when I was in my 20s, and life was very bleak back then. I was a single mum. We were homeless at one stage, and she said to me, Josie, there's always something better around the corner. You just got to keep walking. Just got to keep walking. And I'm like, yep, okay. And I know that, when times are tough and that there's going to be something better. And that's that hope as well. Hope will take you a long way in this world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's do some fun questions now. If you won $10 million tomorrow, what would you spend it on?
10 million. Wow. It's a lot of money. I would give at least 30% to charities, to homelessness and to food. And then the rest I would buy another home for like retreats and like healing, where people can have like free healing sessions and things like that.
Nice. Would you go on a trip? I would.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I would go all around the world.
Cruise ship at the moment that takes 2 or 3 years, and it stops at 170 something countries. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
I don't know if I could be in a tin boat that long.
Yeah. I'd want out.
Yeah, but I fly first class everywhere. That's what I
lovely.
do. Yeah. And visit all the cultures that I've wanted to see, and all the art exhibitions and galleries around the world, and give people hope and keynote speak around the world. And I'm already trying to do that now, so I don't know if $10 million really, if I really need the $10 million. But yeah, you could definitely help a lot of people with it. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
It would be Sydney. It's very grounding. My family, my friends. I just feel like this grounding energy to Sydney, even though it's busy, it's
Yeah.
just this sense of this is home.
I grew up in Sydney I lived there for 14 months when I was a kid. So I've lived in 3 states of Australia, and we lived at Gladesville at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and went to Baronia Park Primary School, which I don't think actually exists anymore because they've reboundaried everything and changed the names. But the school's still there. Okay, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Oh, 100%. I love sweet. Everything sweet and juicy, the better.
I love pineapple on pizza. I don't understand anyone who doesn't like it. What's your favourite pizza topping?
I would say Hawaiian, so I would like it even more. And prawns.
I do a Jussie special. So I do Aussie with pineapple, chicken, salami, mushroom, and garlic.
Oh, yum. Oh, yum. Yeah, you know,
And Parmesan cheese.
Yum.
Yeah.
Oh, yum.
Now, we're actually filming this at 9:42 in the morning, and now we're talking about pizza. I don't know about you, but I feel like getting pizza now.
Me too. I'm like, yeah.
So order a Jussie special next time you're doing it.
Will
So
do.
start with your Aussie base, add pineapple, chicken, and mushrooms, and and onion on there as well. You've got to have onion,
Yum.
garlic, and Parmesan cheese. Oh, it's the bomb.
Oh.
And ask for it to be double cooked.
Ah, I never heard of that before. That's cool.
Yeah, because the pineapple makes it soggy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So double cooked. Okay, what are 3 books you'd recommend to my audience and why? If you can't come up with 3, one's fine.
Oh, yes. I like listening to audiobooks. I'm not really a big print read, and I'm not really an avid reader, I must say, because I like horses. But for books, I would say the only one that I've read because I really like it, because I only read whatever I enjoy, is Matt Kahn books. I can't remember the titles, but Matt Kahn, I like all his 3 books that he has out.
I'd recommend reading Mel Robbins' 5-Second Rule.
Oh, I've heard of Mel Robbins, so that'll be good. I will read it.
So if you haven't got much time to read the whole thing, I listen to it on Audible. You can watch her TEDx talk on it.
Oh, lovely.
It was a game changer for me in my life.
Wow.
So listeners, Mel Robbins' 5-Second Rule. And okay, we've already done the movie one. I'm trying to find another question that we haven't done. Oh, I know. What's one question you wish that I'd asked you, and how would you have answered?
Oh, you've asked me so many thorough, nice questions. I like it. I don't think there was any question that I would think that. No, actually, there's no question. You're very good at this. This is your gift.
Okay, so we'll do a few more quirky questions. Tea, coffee, hot. Let me start again. Tea, coffee, hot chocolate, wine, beer, cocktails. What's your preference?
Oh, can I have more than one?
You can. Hey, there's no rules.
Yeah. I like mocha, which is a warm drink. I also like iced coffee. I like all the cocktails as well as, vodka. So I like all the things. And tea too.
Remind me when we go out together one night.
Yeah.
It could be a bit deadly. I'm allergic to caffeine, so there's no tea, coffee, hot chocolate for me. I did sneak a couple of Easter eggs, first time in years and years and years, the other day, because we've just gone through Easter, and ended up yesterday with a violent migraine. And I'm like, I still can't have chocolate. So, and I'm not meant to have alcohol either, so I'm histamine intolerant. But I do have the odd vodka, and I do like a pina colada. The old-fashioned cocktails, bring them back. I went on a cocktail tour the other week, a cocktail trail, and we walked through the centre of Geelong in all these shops, going to all these cocktails, and I took an antihistamine before I went, so I could actually have some to drink. But as I get older, my palate seems to be changing, and cocktails aren't what they quite used to be. Give me a pina colada on a cruise ship any day.
Yeah.
Might have something to do with the environment, not actually the pina colada. Okay, another one. What's your favourite food?
Chocolate. I'm sorry that you're allergic to it. I do love chocolate, I must say.
Do you like what kind of chocolate? Because chocolate comes in all different shapes.
Milk chocolate, also dark chocolate I like, and ice cream. Ice cream was probably my favourite.
Ah, I see. What's your favourite music?
Music, I like anything that's good to listen to. Like I like pop, bit of jazz. Yeah, anything that's uplifting.
Do you have a favourite band?
No, other than Delta Goodrum, I must say no.
I have lots. I'm stuck in the 80s. Bring back big hair bands, I say. The world was a better place when there was big hair bands, don't you agree?
Everyone was happier back then. No worries. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You know, Def Leppard, Motley Crue, that kind of stuff. I'm a headbanger from way back. Yes. Anyway, moving right along. Where can my listeners find you online?
Through my name, so Lavina Quilliam, also through my Facebook group, which is Logical Mind, Sacred Body and Heart-Centered Beings.
Awesome. And we'll put that in the bio, listeners. So if you'd like to make contact, you most definitely can. So you want to leave us on anything inspiring?
Knowing that, life is short, live it up.
I like that one. Definitely like that one. Anyway, listeners, you guys know the drill. Stay resilient. Until next time.
With over 11 years public speaking expertise, Justine thrives on delivering a powerful and empowering keynote to audiences of all sizes. From a packed room of 500 people to an intimate gathering of 50 people, Justine will command the room with her inspiring journey and engaging anecdotes. Email hello@justinemartin.com.au to book Justine for your next event. We hope you enjoyed the Resilience Mindset podcast. Remember to subscribe to the podcast to get your weekly fix listening to Resilience Queen Justine Martin. Follow Justine on social media at Resilience Mindset or log on to justinemartin.com.au. And until next time, remember, life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient.